Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari debut at the Australian Grand Prix had more bumps than a drive on Melbourne's streets. In this video, we break down his underwhelming practice session and hear what both Lewis and Ferrari's Fred Vasseur have to say about it. Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari debut on track was a bit of a rollercoaster, but it was an off-track moment that raised some eyebrows. The Brit made his highly anticipated competitive debut with Ferrari in Australia, finishing 12th and 5th in Friday's free practice. It was his first time really pushing a Ferrari in anger at Albert Park, but it wasn't the ideal start for either Hamilton or the team. While McLaren, widely regarded as having the fastest car this season, underperformed, it was Charles Leclerc, Hamilton's teammate, who stole the show, finishing with a significant lead over the seven-time world champion. With Hamilton behind the wheel of a brand new car, it was no surprise he was far from the top spot in first practice. However, it was his behaviour after the session that caught Martin Brundle's attention. As Hamilton exited the car, he kept his new yellow helmet on and casually strolled to the back of the garage, a gesture often seen when drivers have just endured an awkward crash. Picking up on this unusual choice, the legendary pundit Brundle remarked, "What alarmed me a little bit was that Lewis came out the back of the garage wearing his crash helmet. He looked pretty good early on, but it depends if he had some issues, we'll find out later. Reflecting on both sessions, Hamilton shared his thoughts. "It felt amazing to be in a Ferrari here. Honestly, the car felt so much different to what I've ever experienced coming to this track, so it took a little bit of bedding in through FP1. FP2 was definitely better, but just building. We're slowly building and getting a little better bit by bit." When asked if the difference was a positive one, he added, "Just different. The car doesn't feel bad or anything, it just requires a different way of driving. Adjusting my driving style bit by bit, but I enjoyed driving." He mentioned that he was still in the process of learning and adapting to his new team and car. "I'm still getting used to the setup changes," Hamilton said. "I don't have them on call like I used to have at Mercedes because I'd been there so long. I knew exactly all the changes. I'm still working through understanding what tools we can use. And it's interesting because you can see with Charles he just knows because he has been here such a long time. I am slowly piecing all the bits of the puzzle together." In terms of race pace, Hamilton was closer to Leclerc, trailing by just 0.1 seconds on average over a run, as Ferrari gained the upper hand over McLaren in terms of speed. "Long run was competitive with the others as well," Hamilton said. "McLaren looked pretty quick. Looks pretty close up top. It's just generally been a fun day. Just to be here in red has been awesome." Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur also weighed in on his new driver's debut, aiming to ease any concerns. "It's not that he has to be at the limit on one session, it's not a matter of speed," the Frenchman said. "The target is for him to know everybody into the team, to discover the software, the process, the system. I'm really convinced that we have something very similar to Mercedes, but at the end of the day, perhaps not with the same name or the same way to use them. It's just a learning process. We did 1 or 2 test days with the TPC 1 month or 2 months ago. It was a good way to approach it, but nothing compared to the race weekend. You know that means that we have to go through and we have to do it. I'm not worried at all about this. You can't draw a conclusion after the first session. I have absolutely no doubt he will be able to perform soon. Last year, I think Carlos was 8 or 9 in free practice, and he won the race. Hamilton finished first practice in 12th. But Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur was quick to remind everyone that last season, his predecessor, Carlos Sainz, was also hovering in the lower part of the top 10 during practice before going on to win the Australian Grand Prix. Vasseur emphasised that early practice times are not always an accurate reflection of performance. As for Hamilton, Vasseur acknowledged that there's still an acclimatisation process as he settles into the team, but assured that the 7-time world champion is fully focused on the objective. When asked about Hamilton's comment that this is the most exciting period of his life following his Ferrari move, the team principal agreed, but also emphasised the need to shift focus to business as usual, now that the on-track action has begun. The word of Lewis? "Don't ask me," Vasseur quipped in the team principal's press conference in Melbourne. "I'm thinking the same, but for sure I think he's happy. It's a good journey for him. He enjoys what he's doing and we enjoy to work with him. But you know that we are all in the same situation, that we're all doing the winter period. We are all world champion, we are all best friends, and then you have the first quali, and we are back to the reality. And that's okay. Now it's the start of the season, and we have to be focused on this. We had 2 months of marketing. I would say that it was a huge wave that we had at the beginning. The most important thing is to be able to turn this page and to be back to business as usual. And to do the FP1 and the FP2, and it will be a long way. We have something like 150 sessions over the year, but it means that it's just the beginning of the story, as James Vowles said before, and we have just to be focused on it, to forget about the world around us and to work as a team. But honestly, when he's in the briefing room, he is fully focused on the objective, and he knows perfectly the job, and he has to build up the relationship with the team. And this is not a long process, but it's a process that we have to follow. And we are on this path, but honestly, we don't have to expect too much for the first session. We know that we have a long way, and honestly, that we did a good step also, I think, compared to last year. And I have a good feeling about that. I have absolutely no doubt that he will be able to perform and to perform soon. Hamilton wrapped up Friday practice at the Australian Grand Prix in 5th place, 0.42 seconds behind his teammate Charles Leclerc, who led the way. Leclerc set the pace ahead of McLaren's Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. He said, "For me, I think it's a little bit early to go for pole, as I continue to learn the car, but never say never. I will give it everything and I'm just not putting too much pressure on. Try and enjoy it. I have some pace to find. I know where to find it, it's just about going out and doing it." On the other side of the garage, his teammate Charles Leclerc said that he wanted to be cautious, but made it known that he was eyeing the pole position for Sunday's race. "We did a good preparation work because the feeling with the car was good," he said. "There are things we need to improve as always, and I am not very happy with the balance yet, but we are in a much better place compared to Bahrain testing, and there is still some performance to find. But that is the same for everyone. The cars are pretty new for everyone, and you have to push it to understand where exactly is the limit. It has been a solid first day, and we have to see how it goes tomorrow when we push a bit more. For sure, McLaren is up there. Red Bull might be struggling a little bit more for now, but with them, and especially Max Verstappen, you can never really rule them out. I am sure they will be in the fight, and Mercedes looks strong as well. So what do you make of Hamilton's first outing in Ferrari machinery? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's all for today, so thanks for watching.